Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into the extraordinary, epic journey of Prophet Musa. This is a story defined by unwavering faith, absolute courage, and a series of miracles that literally changed the course of history. We're going to see exactly how a single prophet was chosen to confront unmatched tyranny, free an oppressed nation, and deliver one of the greatest messages humanity has ever received.
Picture this. What if a baby, placed in a tiny basket and set afloat on a river, was destined to challenge, literally, the most powerful king on earth? Sounds impossible, right? I mean, a helpless infant going up against an absolute monarch with vast armies at his command? But you see, that's exactly how Allah chose Musa to confront unimaginable tyranny, because when it comes down to it, human impossibility is absolutely no match for divine intervention.
To really understand the stakes here, we've got to talk about the adversary, Pharaoh. Thousands of years ago, Egypt was ruled by this king who wasn't just a powerful ruler, he actually claimed to be a god. He demanded complete worship from his people, and he ruthlessly forced the children of Israel into brutal slavery. But it gets so much darker. After hearing a prophecy that a boy from the Israelites would eventually overthrow his power, Pharaoh ordered every newborn Israelite boy to be killed. Imagine the fear suffocating that entire land. But as you'll see, Allah had already set a much greater plan in motion.
Just think about the sheer faith it takes for a mother to let her newborn float away. When Musa was born, his terrified mother was inspired by Allah to place him in a basket and gently set it on the River Nile. Her trust in Allah was absolute. And this is where the master plan unfolds in the most incredible way, right under the tyrant's nose. The basket drifts safely straight to Pharaoh's palace. There, Pharaoh's own wife finds the baby, is deeply moved, and pleads to spare his life. So the very king trying to wipe out these children ends up raising this specific child in absolute luxury, right under his own roof.
So Musa grows up surrounded by the immense wealth of the Egyptian royals. Yet Allah protected his faith and guided him toward the truth. As he grew into adulthood, he just couldn't ignore the deep suffering of his people. Then, one day, while trying to break up a fight, he accidentally caused the death of an Egyptian man. Filled with profound regret, he sincerely sought Allah's forgiveness. Fearing Pharaoh's violent retaliation, he fled Egypt entirely, heading into a quiet exile in the land of Madian. But you know what? This long period of exile wasn't a punishment. It was absolutely crucial preparation for what was coming next.
Decades pass by in Madian. Eventually, while returning to Egypt with his family, Musa notices a fire on Mount Tur. As he approaches this fire, something monumental happens. Allah speaks directly to him. This is the exact, defining moment Allah chose Musa as a prophet and a messenger. The years of quiet exile were officially over, and his true, earth-shaking mission was just beginning.
Now, Allah doesn't just send Musa back to face the most powerful empire on earth empty-handed. No way. He equips Musa with incredible, specific miracles so he can confidently deliver the message. He's given a staff that literally turns into a real serpent and a hand that shines brilliantly. These are undeniable signs meant for Pharaoh. Plus, Allah appoints Musa's brother, Harun, to help him deliver this incredibly daunting message. So armed with divine miracles and a trusted companion, Musa is fully prepared to face the tyrant.
Musa returns to Egypt and bravely calls Pharaoh to worship Allah alone, but Pharaoh stubbornly refuses. Instead, he mocks Musa, accuses him of just being a magician, and calls for a massive public showdown. It's the ultimate test. On the appointed day, the greatest magicians in all of Egypt throw down their ropes and staves, creating these really convincing illusions of moving snakes. But then, Allah commands Musa to throw his staff, and boom, it becomes a real, living serpent that completely swallows up everything the magicians had fabricated. It's the ultimate triumph of a true divine miracle over mere human trickery. And this moment brilliantly illustrates the sheer, undeniable power of truth. The magicians, the very experts brought in to humiliate Musa, instantly recognized this wasn't some magic trick. This was a true miracle from the Creator. They immediately believed in Allah. And what's truly astounding is their courage here. Even when a furious Pharaoh threatened them with execution for the sudden conversion, they remained absolutely firm in their new faith. They chose eternal truth over their earthly lives, literally in an instant.
Despite witnessing these undeniable signs and even seeing his own magicians convert, Pharaoh's massive arrogance completely blinds him. Allah then commands Musa to lead the children of Israel out of Egypt. This sparks a massive, relentless pursuit. Pharaoh's fully armed military chases them until the Israelites are completely trapped. Think about this setup. Ahead of them is the vast, impassable Red Sea, and right behind them is a heavily armed, bloodthirsty army. The people are terrified, totally convinced they're going to be slaughtered. But then, at Allah's command, Musa strikes the sea with his staff, and something unimaginable happens. The sea physically splits into these massive, towering walls of water.
But let's pause and look at what happened right before that sea split. In that agonizing moment of absolute terror, when the Israelites thought all was completely lost, Musa stood firm and said, "Indeed, my Lord is with me, he will guide me." What incredible, rock-solid conviction. While everyone else was looking at the approaching army and the impassable ocean in total despair, Musa was looking to Allah. He demonstrated complete and total trust in divine guidance, when, logically speaking, there seemed to be absolutely zero way out.
Because of that unwavering trust, the sea miraculously parts, creating a completely dry path right through the middle of the ocean. The believers rush through, crossing safely to the other side. But Pharaoh, still utterly blinded by his own arrogance and rage, orders his troops to follow them right into the parted sea. And the moment the believers are safe on the opposite shore, those towering walls of water crash back down. Pharaoh and his entire mighty army are drowned. In a phenomenal display of divine justice, one of the greatest miracles in human history concludes with the total collapse of Egypt's greatest tyrant.
So what does this all mean for us today? Well, this epic journey proves, without a doubt, that Allah's plan is always greater than human plans. First off, no tyrant, no matter how politically or militarily dominant they appear, is more powerful than Allah. Second, it teaches us to trust Allah even when there appears to be absolutely no way forward in our own lives. Third, truth will always stand above falsehood, regardless of how intimidating or loud evil might be. And finally, sincere faith and patience, they will ultimately, inevitably lead to success.
The journey from that floating basket to one of history's greatest prophets reminds us of a really fundamental truth. Even in our darkest, most suffocating moments, Allah can open doors we never even imagined. Just as He protected a helpless, vulnerable baby floating down the River Nile and raised him up to be a messenger who would bring down an entire empire. It's such a powerful reminder that we don't need to see the entire staircase to take that first step of faith.
So, I want to leave you with this question. How will the unwavering faith and courage of Musa inspire you to face your own life's greatest challenges? When you feel trapped between your own metaphorical Red Sea and an approaching army, where will you put your trust? Think about that. If you found this explainer valuable, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more authentic stories from the Quran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.